Welcome back to TPS. The 2020 NFL season is getting closer and closer. Now's a good time to see how the NFL's premier wide receivers stack up against each other. Last year we had Julio Jones at number 1 on our list. Did somebody unseat him? Which other number 1 receivers moved up and moved down? And who's making their first appearance on our list? Here are our rankings for all number 1 wide receivers for 2020 from worst to first. At TPS, we post videos every single day, so don't forget to click the subscribe button to subscribe. Then click the notification bell to be notified when we post a new video. Number 32, Jamison Crowder, New York Jets. With Robbie Anderson leaving in free agency, Crowder is now the guy for Sam Darnold. Crowder was one of the few positives on a sluggish Jets offense last year. He recorded a career-best 78 receptions for 833 yards and 6 TDs. But Crowder has never hit the 1,000-yard mark, and he's more suited to be a number 2 or 3 wideout, hence why he takes 32nd spot on our list. Number 31, ALSHON Jeffrey, Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles' 2 leading receivers last year were tight ends Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. Their top 2 wideouts, Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson, are starting to decline due to age and injuries. 2 years ago, Jeffrey would have been much higher on our list, but he's not a true game changer anymore, and like Crowder, he's more suited for a number 2 receiving role. The Eagles don't use him as a number 1, even when he's on the field. Number 30, Henry Ruggs, Las Vegas Raiders. Along with Jerry Jeudy and C.D. Lamb, Ruggs is one of the big 3 2020 wide receiver prospects. John Gruden and Mike Mayock happily took the Alabama star with the number 12 selection, while Jeudy and Lamb went to the Denver Broncos and Dallas Cowboys respectively. Ruggs should slide in as the new number 1 wideout in favor of Tyrell Williams, although tight end Darren Waller looks to be the lead pass catcher for Derek Carr. Ruggs will be a star in this league for many years to come, but you always want to keep expectations reasonable for rookies, so the 30th spot seems fair until he shows the league what he can do. Number 29, DEEBO Samuel, San Francisco 49ers. The South Carolina product turned in a superb rookie year with 57 receptions for 802 yards and 3 touchdowns. When Emmanuel Sanders arrived midseason via trade, Samuel's value in the passing game took a minor step back. But he was a trustworthy target for Jimmy Garoppolo, and Samuel should hold off rookie Brandon Ayuk as the top wideout in San Fran for 2020. Of course, superstar tight end George Kittle is still the go-to guy in the passing game, so Samuel will have to fight hard for those targets. 28, Sterling Shepard, New York Giants. With Odell Beckham Jr. gone, Shepard was set to take over as the new number 1 receiver for the Giants. Unfortunately, woes limited him to 10 games in 2019, though he posted respectable numbers of 57 receptions for 576 yards and 3 touchdowns. Don't forget he surpassed the 700-yard mark twice. Shepard had a career year in 2018 with 66 receptions for 872 yards and 4 touchdowns. If he can stay healthy, Daniel Jones could help him finally reach the 1,000-yard mark. 27, Marquise Brown, Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens ran an extremely heavy rush-first offense for MVP Lamar Jackson, but it didn't stop Brown from having a solid rookie year. He caught 46 passes for 584 yards and 7 touchdowns. Not all rookies produce like Pro Bowlers. Brown has all the makings to be a future star. 26, Terry McLaurin, Washington Redskins. A helpless Washington offense didn't stop McLaurin from producing his rookie year. He finished with 58 catches for 919 yards and 7 touchdowns. Not bad at all considering the Redskins used 3 quarterbacks while finishing with the league's worst scoring offense. Hopefully McLaurin gets better quarterback play in 2020 and beyond. If so, his numbers could really skyrocket. Number 25, Brandon Cooks, Houston Texans. Take your guess as to who the Texans' top wideout will be in 2020. Cooks, Will Fuller, Kenny Stills, how about Randall Cobb? The latter 3 have always served as number 2 or 3 pass-catching options, and Fuller has a long history of injuries. Ultimately, Cook gets the nod here in large part due to his 4 1,000-yard seasons. Cook's speed and tremendous vertical route running skills will make him a beautiful weapon for Deshaun Watson. If he stays healthy in 2020, Cook should add another 1,000-yard season to his resume. 24, DJ Chark, Jacksonville Jaguars. Chark and quarterback Gardner Minshew were pleasant surprises in Duval County last season. The former enjoyed a breakout year with 73 catches for 1,008 yards and 8 touchdowns. He should be just as good, if not better, in his 3rd season. The arrival of rookie Laviska Shenault Jr. should help take some attention off Chark, allowing him to draw more favorable matchups. As long as Minshew doesn't experience a major regression, CHARK should be among the league's leaders in catching and receiving yards once again. 23 Julian Edelman, New England Patriots. Despite age and a series of injuries, Edelman remains as steady as ever. He was the Patriots' lone reliable playmaker on offense for Tom Brady last year. Despite age and a series of injuries, Edelman remains as steady as ever. He was the Patriots' lone reliable playmaker on offense for Tom Brady last year. The Super Bowl 53 MVP finished with a career-high 1,117 yards last season. Bill Belichick didn't add any major weapons, so Edelman will once again be asked to carry the load in the Patriots' air attack. 22 T.Y. Hilton, Indianapolis Colts. Hilton was limited to 10 games last season, but otherwise, he's been one of the NFL's most consistent receivers since breaking into the league in 2012. The four-time Pro Bowler has 5 1,000-yard seasons on his resume. In fact, 2019 marked the first season in which Hilton didn't record at least 50 catches or 800 yards. With Phillip Rivers now in the fold, Hilton can expect some big numbers again. Even on the wrong side of 30, he has several productive years left in him. 21 Allen Robinson, Chicago Bears. Finally, for the first time since 2015, Robinson got back to the 1,000-yard mark. Robinson's 98 catches placed him 7th last season, and he hit 1,147 receiving yards. Robinson reasserted himself as a true number one receiver. If Nick Foles takes over for Mitch Trubisky, Robinson could possibly have a career year. 20 Tyler Boyd, Cincinnati Bengals. With A.J. Green missing 7 games in 2018 and all of 2019, Boyd relished the opportunity and stepped in as the new go-to guy in Cincinnati. Boyd narrowly reached 1,000 yards for the second straight season on the league's worst team. The question remains, will his numbers go up with Joe Burrow under center, or will they decline with Green returning to the field? That remains to be seen. 19 JUJU Smith-Schuster, Pittsburgh Steelers. Smith-Schuster led the Steelers in receptions and receiving yards in 2018, and with Antonio Brown gone, many expected JUJU to cement himself as a true number one receiver the following season. But a knee injury and the loss of Ben Roethlisberger for 14 games, along with poor play from Pittsburgh's backups, led to a disappointing year for Smith-Schuster. He caught just 42 passes for 552 yards and 3 touchdowns. James Washington and Deontay Johnson even finished ahead of him in receiving. If Roethlisberger is healthy in 2020, Smith-Schuster should bounce back. There are always questions and concerns about Ben's health, though, so we had to keep JUJU's ranking here reasonable. Number 18, DJ Moore, Carolina Panthers. Moore followed up a good rookie season with a breakout campaign in 2012. Even without Cam Newton for almost the entire year, Moore recorded 87 receptions for 1,175 yards and 4 touchdowns. The guy is a total stud, so what more can we say? Moore will now have to share targets with free agent acquisition Robbie Anderson, but at least Teddy Bridgewater is an upgrade over Kyle Allen and Will Greer. So Moore should have every opportunity to take his game to a Pro Bowl level in 2020. 17 A.J. Brown, Tennessee Titans. Brown led all 2019 rookies in receiving yards with 1,051. He and Darius Slayton shared the league for rookie TD receptions with 8 apiece. Brown was instrumental in getting Tennessee to the AFC Championship game and helping Ryan Tannehill win the Comeback Player of the Year award. Brown displayed all the makings of a number one receiver. He's just getting started. Number 16, Tyler Lockett, Seattle Seahawks. After serving as a compliment to the now retired Doug Baldwin, Lockett took over as the new lead receiver in Seattle. He set career highs in receptions with 82 and in receiving yards with 1,057. As a bonus to lightning fast, Lockett still does some damage in the special teams return game. Now there's a good chance that stud 2019 rookie DK Metcalf takes over as the new number one receiver in Seattle, but right now the nod goes to Lockett. Number 15, Stefon Diggs, Buffalo Bills. The Bills acquired the Pro Bowl wideout in a blockbuster trade with the Minnesota Vikings, and he should instantly step in as the new number one ahead of John Brown. Diggs won't have to fight with Adam Thielen for reps now. He's coming off a career year in which he had 63 catches for 1,130 yards and 6 touchdowns. If Josh Allen continues to progress as a quarterback, Diggs might be able to top his numbers from 2019. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch in Orchard Park. Number 14, Adam Thielen, Minnesota Vikings. With Diggs gone, Thielen is the undisputed number one receiver in Minnesota now. Injuries limited him to 10 games last season, and Thielen had just 30 receptions for 418 yards and 6 touchdowns. But in 2017 and 2018, Thielen was one of the NFL's most prolific wideouts. He should get back to his Pro Bowl form and help keep the Vikings offense afloat in 2020. Number 13, Courtland Sutton, Denver Broncos. As many expected, Sutton followed up a productive rookie year with a breakout sophomore season. He racked up 72 catches for 1,112 yards and 6 touchdowns, even though the Broncos used 3 different quarterbacks. Although Sutton is Denver's go-to receiver for now, his numbers could take a dip in 2020. The Broncos added stud receivers Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler in the draft. Second-year tight end Noah Fant should be much better in 2020, and the Broncos will run the ball a lot with Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay. Going by his performance in 2019, Sutton deserves a spot here inside the top half of our rankings. Number 12, Kenny Golladay, Detroit Lions. After turning in a quality sophomore season, Golladay took his game to another level in 2019. He earned his first Pro Bowl selection and led the NFL with 11 receiving touchdowns. And that was with Jeff Driscoll and David Blau throwing the ball for half the season. Just imagine if he had Matt Stafford for the full 16 games. He finished 7th in receiving yards last season. If Stafford stays healthy in 2020, Golladay just might cement himself as a top 5 wideout by the end of the season. Number 11, Devontae Parker. After enduring 4 frustrating and inconsistent seasons, Parker finally had his breakout year. Parker became a superstar in his 5th season, recording 72 catches for 1,202 yards and 9 touchdowns. His stardom was on display in Week 17 when Parker absolutely embarrassed Defensive Player of the Year Stephon Gilmore, leading Miami to a big upset in Foxborough. With Tua Tagovailoa now in the fold, Parker should only get better. That $40 million extension already looks like a steal for Miami. 10, Cooper Kupp, Los Angeles Rams. Kupp missed the final half of 2018 plus the postseason after suffering a torn ACL, but he enjoyed a big-time comeback with 94 receptions for 1,161 yards and 10 touchdowns in 2019. The Rams are one of the biggest disappointments in football last season, but Kupp was a mainstay on the offense. With Todd Gurley and Brandon Cooks gone, Kupp's role should expand in 2020 and beyond. Number 9, Amari Cooper, Dallas Cowboys. After 1.5 impressive seasons with the Cowboys, Cooper landed himself a well-deserved 5-year extension worth $100 million. Don't forget how much Dak Prescott and the passing game struggled before Cooper's arrival in the midst of the 2018 season. He's that valuable to America's team, and he's unquestionably a top 10 receiver in the league. Although Michael Gallup and rookie CeeDee Lamb could take some targets away from Cooper, those two will at least shift some of the focus away from his number 19. He'll still draw the opposing team's top corner more often than not, but Cooper will continue to be Dak's go-to guy in the passing game. Number 8, Devontae Adams, Green Bay Packers. It's amazing how consistent Adams has been. He always draws the opposition's top corner and plenty of double teams, but Adams continues to produce like a top-tier wideout. Despite missing 4 games in 2019, Adams tallied 83 catches for 197 yards and 5 touchdowns. Easy to forget that he recorded double-digit TDs every year from 2016 to 18 too. He's still one of the game's best, and that won't change in 2020. Number 7, Odell Beckham Jr., Cleveland Browns. Tough call between OJ and Landry as the Browns' top wideout. The latter did finish with more catches, yards, and touchdowns in 2019, but Beckham was learning a new offense while fighting through a sports hernia. He's healthy and refocused, and new head coach Kevin Stefanski will make much better use of him than Freddie Kitchens, that's for sure. Baker Mayfield should bounce back after a brutal sophomore year. The O-line has been retooled, so they'll have more time to find his open receivers. Expect a monster year from Beckham, who could easily reclaim his status as a top 5 receiver in 2020. Number 6, Keenan Allen, Los Angeles Chargers. Injuries limited Allen to 9 total games over the 2015 and 16 seasons, but he's certainly bounced back nicely over the last 3 years. The 6'2" wideout has been a one-on-one nightmare for opposing corners. He's hit over 90 receptions in 3 straight years, surpassing the 100 catch mark twice while recording over 1,100 seasons each time. Allen has 18 total touchdowns over this span too. Allen's often lost in the conversation of the game's elite wide receivers, but he shouldn't be overlooked anymore. Number 5, TYREEK Hill, Kansas City Chiefs. Because he's on a Kansas City team with so many weapons, Hill might never put up Julio Jones or Michael Thomas-like numbers. But when it comes to overall skills and game-changing abilities, few people can match up with the Cheetah. Hill easily overwhelms defenses with his insanely fast set of wheels. He often draws double-digit coverage, but it allows the likes of Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman, and Sammy Watkins to get the winnable one-on-one matchups. Hill is the ultimate home run threat for Patrick Mahomes, and he has a knack for coming through in the clutch. Look no further than the 3rd and 15 play versus San Francisco in the Super Bowl 54 game. Number 4, Mike Evans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With all due respect to Chris Godwin, Evans takes the nod here for his remarkable consistency. 6 straight 1,000-yard seasons to open his career. 67 or more receptions in each. It will be interesting to see how Evans fares with Tom Brady feeding him the ball. Surely, the Evans-Godwin duo played a huge role in Brady's decision to join the Bucs. Number 3, DeAndre Hopkins, Arizona Cardinals. The most shocking move of the 2020 offseason saw the Texans send Hopkins to the Cardinals. Hopkins faced a ton of double coverage in Houston, but Larry Fitzgerald and Christian Kirk will help him out here in Arizona. D-Hop can expect way more one-on-one looks, and he's going to put up explosive numbers with Kyler Murray, maybe even better numbers than what he posted with Deshaun Watson. Just you watch. Number 2, Julio Jones, Atlanta Falcons. Jones doesn't maintain the top spot in our rankings, but being number 2 means you're, well, still really, really good. Jones is by far the best wide receiver of his era, and him and Matt Ryan have been virtually unstoppable for almost a decade now, and that won't change anytime soon. Once again, look for Jones to fight for the league lead in every single category. Number 1, Michael Thomas, New Orleans Saints. All Thomas did last year was win the Offensive Player of the Year award after posting a single-season record 149 receptions while leading the NFL with 1,725 yards. He received his second straight first-team All-Pro selection and a third career nod to the Pro Bowl. Sorry, but can't guard Mike is undoubtedly the best wide receiver in the NFL right now, and there's good reason to believe he'll hold on to that top spot as long as Drew Brees is around. Where do you think your favorite team's top wideout should be ranked? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to hit that subscribe button down there too. If you like the video, then like the video. We'd really appreciate it. And last but not least, don't forget to tune in to TPS every single day for more cool videos. We'll see you next time.